This is about a 1972, I believe, Teac Model 220 stereo cassette deck, recorder and player. This is a fairly minimal little setup. It's a very clunky, big clunky player. I mean, here's my hand for size reference. It's pretty big, pretty clunky. Um, it's got kind of a cool. It's like well, I guess it's real wood. It's a veneered wood around the sides of the entire bottom, which comes off to expose the guts, which we'll take off in just a second. But you can see here we've got a couple of inputs for microphone left and right, headphone output. Here's our big clunky power switch. And everything on this, all the controls are real big, clunky controls. I mean, straight out of the 70s. Right here we have regular and CRO2 selection for our tape. Back in the day, I never used the CRO2 usually. That's kind of like a hiss reduction, noise reduction system or circuit they had going. Back in the day when I used to play cassettes a lot, I don't recall ever using that position very much because it also takes out a lot of your high-end content from the music. So I'll usually just use the regular settings anytime I ever played tapes. There was some kind of damage done here. There's a little bit of a crack in the plastic. That can be pushed back up together, but unfortunately I have to take all the guts out to get that back up. When this busted, it also popped this little piece off. So I really need to get under there and pop that back into place so this will glue down properly again. But I'll see about doing that. I don't know if I'm gonna service this thing completely. We might just look it over here and kind of just check it out. If I do end up servicing it, I think I may spend more than the thing is worth. I know it's going to need at least one belt. The other belts, there are two more in there that look okay. The eject button, look how big and clunky this thing is. Look, it's just boom. This is one of those designs too that has another big metal piece down here that you can push down and kind of trick the machine into thinking that this is all closed. So that, if you're doing troubleshooting or something, so you can reach in there and get it or clean it. Then here's our heads, and everything. Our pinch roller down there, which looks pretty dirty. Let's hit play and bring our heads up. There's our play head, our record head. Here's our pinch roller, cap stand. I don't know if the rubber on some of these pieces underneath is going to be good enough to make this machine work again. Again, it's kind of a crapshoot. If I order the belt for this thing that it needs, I'm probably just going to end up having spent more than it's really worth. But we'll just look it over for the hell of it. If nothing else, it might make a cool little video. Someone may have had this machine in the past, and a bit of a throwback for you. Let's turn the unit around. Check out the back. Let's see, what does this say? Approval. This is the old stickers you used to see on stuff. Approved for electronic safety. City of Los Angeles. Department of Building and Safety. I don't know why this would have this sticker for Los Angeles unless it had been imported through Los Angeles, which this is a Japanese set unit, so it could just be that it was imported into the U.S. through the Port of Los Angeles, so they, for some reason, I don't know, maybe California makes them put this on here. But there's that. That code probably means something to that bureaucracy. There's our ground lug outputs. This is an in-out DIN connector. line in left and right, and that's in addition to the line in on the front for the microphones, so I'm not 100% sure how that would work unless it just automatically mixes those together. Let's see, not really sure. I guess, I don't know. But yeah, let's see. There's our little Teac 220 stereo cassette deck, product of Japan, 117 volts AC, 60 hertz. Here's the bottom panel of the unit. It has a little warning on here about no use or serviceable parts being inside. And it says the pilot lamp is soldered into place, which is actually a lie. Because it's not soldered into place. It's actually on a little, it's in a little socket. And it does unplug from the socket, so I don't know why they would do that. But unless I just wanted you to take it to an authorized Teac service professional, which I'm pretty sure, even if those still exist, they're not going to take this item, do anything with it. So, see a little damage here on this corner, and then I can squirt some glue in all this and clamp this back up, but it's missing the little, piece there, the little brace. So, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know if this is worth saving or worth doing anything with, spending too much time on, other than just having a video and having some fun with it. But we'll see. Let's put this aside and take a look at the underside of this unit. Let's see. I can do this one-handed. Alright, here's the guts of the unit. We're looking at it from the back right here, and it's very well made. I mean, very well made. This is really good construction all throughout here. Interesting, they have 3 different positions for this on-off switch, like they had this same chassis piece here for different models, and they had the switch in different positions on each model. Maybe I know they had a couple other models that were similar to this, had a couple more features. There's the power transformer. There's the main board. There's a couple little caps soldered on top of this. They look out of place, but I'm sure they're factory. Some jumper wires there too. There's the main motor that drives everything, and this is the belt that's missing. Obviously, I think it comes down and goes around this big wheel under here, and that spins. And there's another belt that attaches over here. It spins this thing, and this is off on its own with another belt, spins something down in there. And I don't service tape players and recorders very much. Actually, this will only be about the 3rd tape deck I've ever messed with. It does actually look like that's all that's wrong with it, though, is that that belt. But I think it also runs against this and turns something, and I'm concerned because this wheel here, there's another end of it down inside there, and it spins also. And I think it's supposed to butt up against one of these rubber circles down here and turn the tape, the winder. And I don't know if that has shrunk or not. Rubber parts, those always shrink, and you have to replace those too usually on something this old. So I'm kind of concerned that if I start getting into this, I'm going to be replacing a lot of rubber pieces, and maybe I won't even be able to find those. And the belts, I should be able to find the belt. I mean, I just measure it and find something that works for the length, but I don't know. Again, this might be more trouble than it's worth. But this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to plug it in and we'll watch it run for a second here. Mess around with it. Okay, let's put some power to the unit and we can watch some things spin around here. Alright, it's got power. Now let's hit the power switch underneath. If I can find the damn thing. Oh, that's on the other end of the... it's on the other end. That's why. Reach under there and hit the power switch. Okay, there's our motor spinning up. So it definitely does work and is spinning. I'll turn the power off so you can see it. It's kind of a blur right now. So it definitely works. At least that does. And it needs a belt, you know, again, to go around this and up under here and spin this piece under here. And that's what works all the various mechanisms. You know, I may look on eBay or just look online and see if I can find a belt. I'll measure and get an idea about what size belt it might need. And just kind of research it. They're probably not expensive. There's our pilot light. It does work. And again, you know, it's on a little bayonet. It's not soldered in by any means. I mean, you can unscrew that bulb. So I don't know why they would lie to you like that. Let's say, you know, again, they just, I guess they've got their Teac union and they need you to bring it in for service. But yeah, I'll show you what it's doing actually right now, and I don't know why this would be happening, and that's kind of concerns me a bit too. I'm going to hit the play button, which I think is the third one from the end here. Yeah, I'm going to hit the play button, and what happens is this thing actually shuts itself off after when you hit play. So I've got play, and then that stops itself after a couple seconds. So I don't know why it would do that, unless it's energizing some capacitor maybe, and then it's kicking itself off, because nothing else is even hooked up. So mechanically, I can't understand why that would be happening. Maybe somebody can comment and enlighten me on that. But again, I'm not a tape deck expert, and I don't mess with these often. Let's see. 2, 3. See, it just kicks itself right back off. I'm concerned that maybe even if I do buy a belt, it will still have that problem. And without a schematic or any way of tracing this or figuring out how everything exactly works, and I looked online for a schematic and I did not find one. So this might be a bit of a fool's errand for somebody like me who's not used to tape decks. I guess if you knew a little bit more about tape decks, maybe this would be a real easy fix. And maybe somebody's probably scoffing at me right now on this video saying, man, you dumbass, it's all you need is the belt. Just pop the belt in, you'll be all right. But, you know, hell if I know. But anyway, yeah, that's about a 1972 Teac model 220 tape deck.